The 6-0 Black Diamond Power. This is the most unique thermoform paddle in that it's the only one that doesn't use a carbon fiber surface, but instead it uses a composite raw fiberglass blend. Now in terms of spin, I don't really notice a difference when compared to my Vatic or carbon paddles. Just like all the other thermoform paddles, I classify this as being in the high tier for spin, but I also haven't used this paddle for a long period of time, so I can't speak to how well the face and spin hold up compared to the carbon fiber options, but for the time being, just know that the face material provides plenty of spin. Construction-wise, the paddle face is the only thing that separates it from the other thermoform paddles. It still has the unibody design, the injected edge foam in the perimeter, and the same construction process. As for the shape, it looks similar to Yola's Hyperion series, but is actually slightly different. It's not as long, with the length coming in around 0.2 inches shorter, and the top corners of the paddle flare out a bit more to the sides. It's the same shape you'll see on the 6-0 Double Black Diamond and the Vatic Flash series. While this paddle shape generally produces less power than the elongated shape, the Black Diamond is a special case in that its paddle face allows it to produce one of the highest amounts of power out of all the thermoform offerings. In my experience, the ball pops off the paddle face quicker than all the other 16mm paddles on the market. The only 16mm paddle that produces more power is the Legacy Pro. While the ball does pop off the Black Diamond's paddle face quickly, the speed doesn't hold up, and as the ball flies through the air, you can tell there's a slight drop in the ball's velocity the more it travels. This is the most notable in serves and drives, whereas you don't notice this drop in power on the Legacy. However, this paddle still provides plenty of power, and where this paddle shines is in hands battles at the net. Because it swings quick and the ball pops off quickly, it's a really dangerous paddle when up at the kitchen line, though you will need to be careful with grip pressure when hitting volleys, or else you'll have easy shots fly out. You'll notice in some of these rallies, there are instances when I get too trigger happy at the end and lose points from overhitting the ball, so you may need to adjust to taking some more pace off the ball than usual when hitting volleys. I wouldn't classify this paddle as one that's easy to use, and for me, it's still taking me some time to get used to since I mainly have only used control paddles. Drops and resets are more difficult to do compared to a V7 or Carbon 1X, especially in tight situations when the points get fast-paced and you don't have as much time to think. For singles, it isn't as much of an issue since your room for error can be a bit more forgiving on drops and resets, but doubles is where the paddle has more of a learning curve. That's not to say that this paddle is unusable for doubles. I think for me, if I play with the paddle more and have more time to drill, I can definitely get the hang of it, and I'm sure someone who comes from a power paddle like a Vanguard Power Air or a Pro Kennex Black Ace, they'd be able to transition pretty easily. Overall, I think this is a fun power paddle that can be pretty deadly in both singles and doubles, if you take the time to drill with it and learn how to control it effectively. Now, I'm not affiliated with 6-0 in any way, but my friend who let me borrow his paddle to use for the review is an ambassador for the brand, so I've linked his discount code in the video description where you can use to get 10% off your order off the 6-0 paddles.
And Danielle with a nut shot.